Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dena Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
It's such a small town. So if you're walking, people just be like, "Do you want to ride?" It's like they don't need Uber. They just have.
What?
They just pull over. They give you a honk, and they're like, "We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever."
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
What's outside your Puerto Rican?
That's Stella! Yeah!
Good morning, everyone. It's Denise from New Jersey. This is my husband, Paul. That's pre-coffee, Paul. Oh, you're doing good. You smiled. That's great. And we are a little sad because we are headed for the airport. And I want to wish all our $5 friends have a great Sunday here in Nashville. It's been a great weekend. I hope the temperature maybe stays under 90 for you today. And we'll see you all later. And man, when Dena says when she's on a roll, she can really get moving. She's not kidding. She goes really fast. So this is your morning show with our host, Dena Blizzard.
All right. Uppy, uppy, uppy. How is everybody? It's morning time. Who would like for their eyes to still be shut? I know that was Denise and her husband. They did such a good job. It's so funny because I feel like I was watching everybody show up to Nashville. Like it was just like a whole bunch of people are like, we're almost there. We're heading out. And I was like hiding in the back of a plane, just like nobody talked to me. We had so much to do when we got there. I know, more sleep. So good morning. Let's all get on the same page. I think it's Tuesday. Who else believes that to be true? Too much. When he's like, I've been awake for hours. Honey, why? Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. Oh, Aaron, that sounds awful. I know, Malene. Did you get them to change the cheerleading weekend? Because it's weird that you haven't. It's a beautiful morning down here. Last night, went on a ghost tour. Ooh. I know. It was really lovely. We were down in Cape May, and I've never gone on the ghost tours in Cape May, but it's quite lovely. They take you on this little trolley, and they drive around Cape May, and it's almost like the houses of the stars, except for all the houses have ghosts. And oh my gosh, Tanya, I don't even know what we were talking about last night. We did a live last night for Ugly Monday, and all I remember is laughing hysterically. Too hot to sleep. We're on the start of a heat wave here. Oof. Yeah, I would love to have chocolate for breakfast, but instead I had French toast bake, which is basically sugar. And oh, curly top. I'm sorry. Keep us posted. I know. We were in Cape May, had to leave work today, heading back this afternoon. Oh, good. Hey, Mary. My daughter's house had ghosts. Yeah. So there's a new shirt idea floating around from, I believe, Missy Hall. Well, she said, what happens in our shirts stays in our shirts, which was a slogan for Vegas. I decided to just change one word and just make it more fun. And we changed the word from shirts to pants. So now the shirts will say, what happens in our pants stays in our pants. And I don't know who wouldn't buy this shirt. I'm just saying, I think it's something you get Mother's Day gifts, people at your church, birthday parties for kids. It literally is an all occasion shirt. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not. They're all here. They're in various states of undress. So Missy, okay, raise your hand if when you get out of bed in the morning that you have to do some kind of weird like Tyrannosaurus Rex walk, because the first 3 steps that you take are taken on what I can only refer to as toothpicks. Dena, when you wake up in the morning, can you get out of bed like just regular walking, or do you have to do that little, like those 4 steps of limping in order for your feet to be feet again?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Can I just get up and walk?
Yeah, or do you have to do that weird thing where the first 4 steps are like real, like you walk like a dinosaur and you're like, oh, like those first 4 steps?
I mean, most of the time I fall over when I get out of bed.
Okay. So yes. So Missy and I have been sleeping together. So Missy was sitting over there. We were doing some writing this morning because we said we were going to write.
Yeah.
So Missy gets up.
Yeah. And what she did?
And she's doing the weird walk, right?
Oh, the waddle.
She's
okay.
doing, but it's real slow and she's moving real slow.
Okay.
And I said, that would be so much more attractive if you put your hands up. And she was like, what? I go, well, the way you're like from the crypt, like you're just walking like this. And she goes, okay. I said, if you put your hands up like this and then did it, it would be so much more fun. Rah, like that. And so we've been doing this.
So you've been walking around like this?
Yeah, all morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
Oh
Jane,
God.
that's why I walk like a weirdo, because my ankle still doesn't work.
Yeah,
and I'm
she's an
afraid
old
I'm
lady.
going to roll it. It's all swollen.
Yeah.
So I was doing it back to her. So I was like, I'm just saying, if you're going to come at me with your Crip Walk, just throw your arms up. And it's just so much more entertaining in the morning.
Did you tell them about our ghost tour?
No, tell them.
Oh, so we took this trolley ride around Cape May, which was interesting because I've been to Cape May like 100 times, and I often wondered who were the crazy people that took those trolley tours. So we're driving around, and they're showing us all the different homes where these ghosts supposedly have lived.
Oh, yeah.
But the ladies' stories were kind of like, did you believe half the stuff
No.
that
Well,
she
here's
said?
the thing is that I don't know. I guess at the beginning of the tour, she mentioned who is it? Craig? Carl. She must have done some intro where she was like, all the information on the tour comes from a world-renowned reader named Carl. Did you hear any of this?
Yes.
Okay. I missed
and it was like this guy that was this expert in Cape May ghosts, and she
Mm.
kept referring back to him. But then I think who did it? Lori did fact checks at the end of the thing, and she said the ladies' stories were like all BS.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But literally every story that she did, she was like, Carl says that there was a ghost in here that fell out the window. And then
Yeah.
there's Carl says, blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
And we're like, who the hell is Carl?
who is he? Yeah.
Who cares if she got stuff
Yeah,
wrong? It was
And then we
great.
went to this mansion, the physics mansion.
Uh-huh.
And we had to walk around this mansion. You know, Jen and I talked about it, and we think they had plants. Like, right. Like, so, and we're in the hallway, and we're all standing there. It almost felt like, when you go to Disney World and you go to the Haunted Mansion in the Disney World, and you're in that little thing where the walls come up, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind of what it felt like. And then she's like, is anybody feeling a dog walk by them? And this poor man behind me is like,
Yeah. And Kathy, she said
Yeah.
she felt the dogs.
So Jen was looking around because Jen's like logic brain, and she's like, there's vents, Dena. There's like air vents that were probably poofing, like
Poofing.
and then they kept saying, make sure you take pictures because you're going to catch things in the pictures. Make sure you take
They
pictures.
did say that.
However, you weren't allowed to video.
No, I wondered why.
Okay, Jen thinks that
Tell
they
me.
had some kind of system set up to mess with the photos when you took them. But if you were recording video, you'd catch whatever it was that they were using to kind of spoof us.
Oh, see, you got to have a Jen in the back just looking at it all.
Scientific Jen.
But then Missy got real weird in one of the rooms. And then Dena wouldn't go in one of the rooms. And then you missed it on the wall. Remember that thing made of hair, Kath? Whenever people died, they would take. Oh, I don't have it. Does anybody? Show me the picture. They would take a piece of the dead person's hair.
Yeah.
And then they would weave it into something. Kathy has a picture. I'll show it to you.
It was a Victorian thing, but everybody died in Victorian times, right? Like you had 8 kids because you lost 4.
Yeah, well, it's really crazy.
So
like the numbers, they were not in your favor.
No, you didn't. If you were lucky, if you made it past the age of 1.
1 in 3 kids died by the age of 1.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
I did not check that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty accurate. Actually.
Now, on a side note, besides learning a lot about ghosts, we also learned a lot about what happens when you take old ladies dancing. Now, I don't want to point to people, but some people had... Some people might be wearing Depends. Some people were just straight farting and they had dresses on. And I thought they were moving a lot, but apparently it was just farted poof, poof, poof out of the dresses, which gave it a lot of motion and we'll say twirling action.
Yes,
but I think
and created like a nice cloud of protection around certain dancers.
A barrier dancer.
Who farted?
We don't want to point fingers.
Oh, yes, we do.
Wait, they blamed it on you?
I was
farting. I was too.
Okay.
No wonder people were afraid of us.
You can't move like that without farting a little.
Well, that's all right. I kept peeing my pants, so it's okay.
Okay. It was a lot of fun, you guys. If you really want to have a good night, take old ladies dancing. And
think to yourself, I'm not old. You might be old, but I'm not old.
Wait, Missy.
This is heartbreaking.
Why?
Missy. Heartbreaking.
So Dena and I were both driving. So this is another Dena, by the way. You're on with 2 Denas.
Yeah. With an
we were in charge of going to get the cars. It was pouring rain. So we left all these ladies at the club and we're going to pull around to get them. Well, while we were there, Missy was standing at the door and a very young lady around 80 came up to Missy and said, "What, Missy?"
She grabbed my hands and she said,
"My hand, say it to me."
She's like, "I love your hair." She's like, "And isn't it so lovely to see ladies our age out dancing and having such a nice time?"
We didn't break a leg.
Didn't break a leg.
We don't smell like Bengay.
My teeth didn't fall out.
You can...
It was devastating. And also somehow freeing, but mostly devastating.
No, see, it's not really fair to you, Missy, because you look amazing for your age.
See,
for your age. See? For a fart walking, fart dancing lady of your age.
No. I'm not.
Amazing.
Listen. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but I know how old she is, and I hope I look like her in 15 years.
Wow. She basically did this to you. Just so you know, this also happened last night. We didn't tell them this part.
Oh.
So last night we were at dinner. There's 6 of us at the dinner. Kathy Klein.
Yeah, Kathy.
Unfiltered Kathy. Now you know why she's called Unfiltered.
Yeah. I want to give her a filter.
We're
sitting. I thought
she was one of my closest friends.
We're sitting at dinner.
She needs like a muzzle.
And Dena and Jen are talking about something fancy. Out of the blue, Kathy comes out. She points these 2 fingers right at these 2, Jen and the other Dena, and says, "You 2 are so smart. I love listening to smart women talk." And you 2 pointed real specific at Jen and Dena.
And I'm looking around and I'm like,
not at Missy, not at Laurie. And we all just sat there. I looked at Missy. I was like, "Hey, dum dum."
And Jen and I are like, what the heck? Like, what is she talking about?
And I was like, "Hey, Laurie, dum dum, how are you doing over there?"
I don't know.
Because that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying they're real smart.
You.
Jeremy said, "Good morning. Can I have my wife back, please?" I just want to say, Jeremy, that I have enjoyed cuddling with her We've spooned a couple times.
And she's farted all over
There's
her.
been
And
some
she's
grabbing.
been farting. There's been some grabbing involved. Yes.
Yes, and lots of this.
Uh-huh.
We'll bring her back when we're done with her.
Oh well, their bedroom escapades are going to be a lot more interesting.
Yeah. Mhm. I know. Mhm.
Farting.
It was so funny.
creeping.
Mhm. So it was a night filled with compliments and farting and ghosts. It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting night.
We're going kayaking today. That's going to be really interesting.
We're doing nature kayaking today, and that's only if we can fold Missy in half and get her into the kayak. Her legs don't fold.
Do I have to watch out for you and Missy to like not dunk Kathy in the water?
She should be in a different boat. I know. It's who's going to go out on their own and who's going to have a double? Because you can do a single kayak and you can do a double kayak.
Oh, I'm going with Jen. I don't trust any
I
of
want
you
to be
bitches.
tied
Mhm.
to the boat of whichever of you is physically the strongest.
Well, it's not me. It's not Missy, and I will be all the way in the back.
We'll be in the back, spinning in a circle like in a whirlpool.
Are we
Yeah.
supposed to
Awesome.
actually make
Missy's
forward
going to tip
progress?
over,
I don't know.
guaranteed.
Who said that?
Not your husband.
No.
Not your husband. Oh,
Jill
Jesus.
said single is less frustrating.
Oh, I can
That's
see
a
that. Is it the
life
one where it looks
motto.
like a banana and you like kind of stick yourself in it and
I
then you have the
think
paddle?
so.
See, I don't
Yeah.
think I don't know that I can get in. Like we'll have to see.
Well, then we'll just throw your legs on the
Outside.
outside.
This is
You could just ride it like
So
a horse.
I did this once with my daughter's
Nothing
Girl
could
Scout
go
troop.
wrong.
Okay.
And we had the double boats for the girls, right? So I think I was in the back and my daughter was in the front, and the entire time it was like, Josie, turn this way, because you turn the boat by how you oar. So if the other person's not following your lead, you wind up going in circles or like running into trees and like branches.
How
and
many
things.
trees do you see in the ocean?
No, or is it a river? What are we going
No,
on?
it's the ocean.
Oh, then we're fine. We did this on the
There's no
friggin-
trees. We'll be fine.
We did it on the
Is it-
Passaic
we're gonna be
River,
in
so
the
we were
ocean?
we were darting
We'll
trees
be on the
and
bay.
garbage.
Trees and garbage. Yeah, no,
On
we'll
the
be on the
Passaic
bay.
River.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
things that live in the ocean that might
eat you.
be hungry.
Not on the bay.
No,
No.
Yeah.
they know.
Down
The sharks know. Like nope. This is
That would be
We're
nice
this
and
one
relaxing
farts
on
a
the
lot.
bay.
Well, if one of us falls, then Missy has to fall in to protect us. To send out sonic messages.
Are we allowed to bring cocktails on the bay? On the
No,
on the
he
kayak?
said bathing suit, no shoes, towel, and some water. He
He
did
didn't
not say
say-
vodka.
But he didn't say anything about weed either, right?
He did not. Okay. All right. I'm going to be in Jen's boat.
I'm
Yep.
not Jen, I'm Dena.
Oh, whatever. This one. Whoever looks like this one.
We were the Carlys.
I did. I keep calling her Jen. They're the same person.
Kathy's right here. You're driving. Actually, we should have been concerned that she was driving. Kathy's right here. We're talking to Gina
Oh my
on the
gosh,
phone.
that was
Yeah,
so funny.
Kathy's
I think
right
it's
here.
because you're both blonde and you're shorter than me and you're funny. And I just need 3 adjectives and you either fit into it or you don't.
Yeah, but you just talk. I'm like, she
I'm
doesn't
only
even
two.
know I'm here. She does not know I'm
I was
here.
like, she's in the car. You don't see her.
She's like, if we were
It was
to
the ghost of
crash
Kathy
and you were
passed.
to report to the ambulance drivers who was with you,
They're gonna spend hours trying to find her.
and they're like, no one knows where Missy
Oh
is.
my gosh. Kezia. Kezia said, did you see the video of the horse that was competing and farting during every
Yes.
jump? We did, Kezia.
Oh my God, really?
It was the funny, that thing where they jump and they're in
Yeah.
the arena.
Yeah.
Literally every time the horse went over one of the things, it would fart, and they don't
Not
fart
quietly.
small, not like the way Missy
So
farts at a
what do
club.
they fart like? Do you have a?
It's-
Can you imitate it?
Think of it.
Yeah, after
It's
each
I'm
one,
spitting on you. I'm sorry.
it was basically Missy at a
Don't
club.
stand
No.
behind. Don't stand behind a horse when it farts.
Missy had a rager.
If Missy starts jumping, do not stand behind her.
Missy at a techno club.
Boom,
boom. She farts to the music. Dunk, dunk.
I'm eating healthy.
What happened when they were playing?
It's all the
Sabotage?
beans.
Cabbage.
When they played Sabotage, I pooped my pants.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, that
Mhm.
house is ginormous. Excuse me.
Yes. Oh, here we go.
She's mean.
Somebody got a lot to say.
I'm having issues. I'm
Yeah.
trying to sleep.
Are
I'd
you?
like my refund back.
Refund? We're here for free. What are you talking
Why
about?
don't you tell everybody who the smart ones are here?
Here we go again, people. I
No,
just
wait,
don't understand.
look at the camera.
it.
Why do I look like I'm a midget compared to you?
Last night.
My mom does that. My mom will sit so that everybody looks like they have a giant head compared to her.
Well, I do have a giant head. My nickname is Hetty Ho Ho.
Hetty Ho Ho?
Yeah, you don't know that?
That's not your nickname. Your name is just Ho Ho.
Ho Ho. Well, now my brother said I have a twin sister. When I was little, what is to say, when I would be walking, he said all you would see was my big head. So Hetty it started. Then as I got older, Hetty Ho Ho. Now it's just Ho.
And that actually fits her.
Yes, it actually does.
I
So-
like Christmas.
So last night, we're at a table, and I'm complimenting my two friends, Dena with an I and Jen,
What's that mean?
being very smart business women, and just listening to their conversation, I was just very impressed. This is Dena I. Dena E, Dena I. Jen is in the kitchen. And I said,
or smart Dena, dumb Dena.
No.
It's another way to do it.
no, I'm going to call her SD, Smart Dena, and FD, Funny Dena.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that she's funny and I'm just smart, and she's dumb and I'm not funny. That's not very nice.
FD. Dena. And it doesn't stand for
Are you finding a way to be insulted?
Dena
by
doesn't
that?
I don't get it. Because she just said I'm not funny. I'm just
Listen.
smart.
Nobody
Who wants to just be
has
smart?
ever.
Let me ask you, would you rather be funny or pretty?
Hold on. I am dumb.
I have never
and
been
not
called
Funny or
Smart.
pretty?
Funny.
Funny or pretty?
Funny.
Funny.
Why can't I have both?
Nobody has ever called me smart.
have both.
So that's a
Unfair.
compliment. Huh?
She has all three.
No.
She was Miss New Jersey.
They need
She's
therapy.
funny,
30
and she's
years
a
ago.
business mogul.
She's a triple
Mogul.
She's
We're in
a mogul.
pajamas on my couch right now.
Mogulin,
Screams
mogulin,
mogul.
Or restrains her entire empire from the corner of her beach house.
I don't know why you're like insulted though. FDS. I just don't
Yeah,
get it.
don't
I've never
roll it FD.
Wait, I have never
FD.
been called either. I've never been called
Yes, you
smart ever.
No, you're just a
You
big head.
don't listen to your
I'm
friends when
big
they
head. I'm
talk.
Ho.
Ooh,
Call me Ho.
I think
Dena with an
perhaps
I.
that you don't listen to your friends when they talk to you.
Oh my god, I can't.
I
with any
do.
of this.
I do. So they took offense. I'm always
No,
insulting.
it's
No,
someone.
we
all
just
good.
wanted a thing to pick on you for.
She literally
Did this.
she was like, let me
I
just try my
feel-
best to avoid these other three.
I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Peace out,
okay.
people.
All right.
I think Jen
They
has a
need
bruise
therapy.
from how hard she points it
Mhm.
at her.
No,
Yeah.
Lori.
She knocked her eyes out.
No. And I also, the way she looked at me as if I was supposed to agree.
She's like, right? They're so smart.
They're-
She's like, hey, dumb dumb.
my back, sister.
She doesn't. You're the same person, remember?
Hey, idiot. Don't they look smart? Smart.
She's like,
They
I
look-
write book.
I write book.
They look smart.
Mhm.
That's when you know
That was
things.
so funny. So today is a beach day. Dena is so excited.
I'm so excited.
It's a Dena day.
It's a Dena day.
So we're gonna hang out today, do nothing, wait for pulled chicken, which isn't Michelle.
Oh, I have such wonderful news,
I just have
guys.
to get the.
About
Oh my
chicken.
God.
Can I share my chicken news?
Yeah.
So my daughter has been a vegetarian for almost 3 years, and she all of a sudden was like, I think I want to try chicken. I was like, well, chickens really don't have brains, so go for it. So she told me this morning that she tried chicken not once, but 3 times, and it was amazing.
Well, that's
What
not
kind
even
of chicken?
trying
What did she
anymore.
eat?
That's just eating chicken. Good
She
for her.
had chicken franchise at her friend's house. She said
it's a
was
good
decent,
choice.
but not as good as mine.
Okay.
She's a good daughter.
Okay.
Then she had the kava chicken, and I was like, ooh, kava chicken.
Is that Greek?
Kava, you know what kava is? Kava is like
The restaurant I took you to.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
you did.
a conveyor belt with all this healthy stuff. It's almost like Chipotle, but it's healthy.
Okay.
And I said,
That
oh,
Mediterranean.
got it.
yeah.
got
And
it.
I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
oh, Josie, that chick is. She said it was really good. I was like, really? I'm like, that chicken looks kind of sus to me because that's
Okay, you doing what the kids say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I- And for anyone who doesn't know, sus means like suspect, right? So I got that one right. I actually got one right.
I was smart enough to get that one.
Yeah. And because it's close enough to what it really means versus some of the other things that they say. And then the third time she had Chick-fil-A.
Oh, that's good.
And I said, well, that's different than Cava chicken because it doesn't sit around all day. And Chick-fil-A is known for their chicken. Yeah. So she had the grilled chicken Chick-fil-A sandwich, and she was all excited. So this makes my day because I no longer have to eat like a vegetarian to cook dinner for my daughter.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and you know what? I just divorced my husband who hated the fact that my daughter was a vegetarian. And it's ironic that she decides to be a non-vegetarian after we leave the home.
A lot of changes.
A lot of changes.
A lot of changes.
I think she should just walk by him with a leg of mutton in her mouth. I'm sorry.
So, have you spoken to Michelle this morning?
Yes.
So, I walk into the kitchen and she has her back to me. And I say, good morning. And she turns around with a knife in her hand and says, good morning. And I was like, I'm going to go do a head count.
Yeah. Check them out.
And she's got a whole thing of chicken in front of her to make the
me
chicken pulled pork.
Michelle.
Somebody else was here.
Michelle.
Your back was to me.
Michelle!
Yes, it's fair. It's fair.
Michelle!
She's making food.
Is she? I'm going to need to get confirmation that she's actually making food.
She's making the food.
She's putting barbecue in a crock pot. That's what I see. What's up?
I'm still trying to do
I couldn't.
Because it looks like you're just holding a bottle of barbecue. Has anything been mixed?
I saw her put the
You
barbecue
said that
sauce
you were
in
going to
the
make
crock
this chicken
pot.
at 5:30 this morning.
You did. You told me.
At 5:30 this
Wait, what
morning.
time is it?
It should have been done by now.
Oh, that's
I
4
should
hours
have
later.
breakfast.
I asked about where the garbage was.
All right, so there's no.
You better put that crock pot on high or that chicken's not going to be done at 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
Telling
she
you right
was
now.
making that chicken yesterday. Exactly.
Lunch is 12:30. Is it really?
About your psycho Stepford wife
I don't
moment
trust
when I
that.
walked in
That's
there.
sus.
She's not.
That's
There's
sus.
not going to be any chicken.
It's going to be sus if you eat it.
This is a 3-day barbecue chicken event. You're not wrong. And guess how it ends? No chicken. No chicken.
I'm so hungry.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, she's so funny because she's got this nut allergy. So she's real weird. Here, Jen, you can be there. Jen, be there.
This is the other. This
This is the other smart girl. In
This is
case you
smart,
had any
Jen.
smart
These
people
are the two
questions.
smart ones.
These are the ones.
The
to ask.
dummies are over
Trivia
here.
question, and let's see who gets it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
You'll
Trivia.
find how unsmart we are.
There's a team of 3 dum dums versus the smart ladies.
Don't ask it about pop culture.
Mhm.
No pop culture.
Okay, what's the trivia?
Timo says it sounds like a cackling hen house. It's exactly what it is.
Oh,
This
so
is
my
exactly-
so wait, no wait, you're gonna
There's
find
a
this
lot of
funny.
cackling.
My group of girlfriends that I'm close with at home, we call it ourselves the coop because we're a bunch of
coop.
chickens.
Chickens.
We're the coop.
That
We're known in
also
town as the coop, like the chicken
Mm.
coop. We're the coop.
Isn't there like a hip hop term too of like a coop? So that way you're
should just
also
be a-
cool.
A coop crew.
We're all together until tomorrow. Tonight we have a chef coming in to cook for us.
Well,
which
then why are we
super
having the
excited.
chicken?
Just for
ever?
fun now. Just for fun. She insisted
there
on
ever
making
be
the
chicken?
chicken. No,
When she finishes it, we should all be like, you know what? No,
I'm
thank
not
you.
that hungry. I
we're
don't
not
even
eating
like
chicken.
chicken. Just
I
say,
don't
everybody
like
just say, I don't
chicken.
even eat chicken.
Didn't Dena tell you we're all vegetarians?
Just
No,
say, I'm not
just
even
me,
that
just
hungry. I
me.
just got back up. Yeah. All right. So,
Taco Bell.
How do you read the long ones?
yeah, no, we
Who
don't.
shot JFK?
Yeah, that's your question.
That's
Who
a good
shot
question.
JFK?
I don't know. Figure it
Instapot
out.
chicken. I've never gotten into the Instapot.
Me neither.
I had my chef. come
Okay,
to-
trivia question. What season is it right now in Australia?
It is winter, obviously.
Guys, what season is it right now in Australia?
Neville. Going to New Cole.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. My name is Diane. I'm calling with Dr. Ahmad's office, Cooper ENT. Is this Brooke?
No, it's not Brooke. Can I have her call you?
Surely. I'm just trying to confirm an appointment.
Yeah, she'll be there.
On Friday at 8 a.m. in the Voorhees office.
Sure.
July 5th.
That's the one.
Okay, thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you. Bye-bye.
May I ask who I'm speaking with?
Her mother.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Why are you hitting send?
No, I meant to hit decline.
I know, but you hit accept
decline this, and then I did accept.
As soon as
and then
you
I was
said
like,
her mother, though, it
what?
gave you like the
As soon as
cred.
she
They're like,
said-
oh,
They're
okay,
like,
okay.
As soon as she said the doctor's office, I was like, lady, please speak no more.
I'm like, why
I
is she
know.
getting
They're like,
exact?
this is for your vaginal swab coming up. You're like,
We all know Brooke's business now. Yes, we do, Mom. Good job.
Brooke, I'm like,
I
no.
know, Brooke, I
yes,
hope-
I know.
we all
Now,
know
does
Brooke's
Brooke
business.
know it? Does Brooke know she has an appointment?
She does, because
I hope
I
her-
made
her
her
vagina's
make the
okay.
appointment. She was like, Dena, you're pregnant. Yeah, so she was like, she's been having a lot of, I think she's going to have her tonsils taken
Oh, that's
out.
annoying.
She keeps getting this thing. And so
She won't be
the
able to eat
urgent
chicken.
care put her on an antibiotic, was like, you have to follow up with an ENT. So here's Brooke. Now she's 20 years old. This is where it gets real shady. You have a 20-year-old. She goes, Mom, they said I have to go to an ENT. And I go, okay.
Call.
Right.
She goes, how do I do that?
Do it.
Yep.
Google
I
it,
said,
Brooke.
look up Cooper Hospital ENT and you will find somebody and they will make you an appointment. And then she stared at me. I said, I'm not calling. You're 20. Learn how to use the medical system. This is what it looks like. And so it's just so funny. But all of their information always comes back to me.
Right.
All the phone numbers. I'm like, you have to tell your doctors to, you give them your number now. She's like,
Bonnie says
Yeah,
just
I'm
take them to the
26.
vet
I
with the
still got
dogs.
all of her
They
emails
should.
from the
Yeah.
doctors and-
Yeah.
It's
No.
because she wants me to pay the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
And we're HIPAA violators.
Carrie, I knew it was coming up because Brooke told me yesterday about her appointment. So she's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, Angie, she is a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
And I have an 18-year-old, and I have to get on her case
Yeah.
to do shit. So
Just remind him of the hippopotamus oath. Like you can't
Oh
have
my
all these
gosh.
facts.
They are
yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
I started making my youngest two because I went through this with my oldest two. So my kids are 14. My younger ones are 14 and almost 18. When they hit 14, they have to start making their own doctor's appointments, their own dentist appointments.
At 14?
I teach them how.
I messed up.
I go with them. I mean, like I sit with them, make them make the call, teach them what to say, like your name and date of birth.
Of course, the Australia answer was right.
Yeah.
And
Jen's smart.
So they know by the time they're ready to fly, they'll be able to make their own.
When Brooke was young, so we talk about her anxiety a lot, but when she was in 4th grade, she started medicine, and it's not like light medicine. It's like heavy medicine. And from the time I was like, I will not follow you. I will not ask you if you take your medicine. I will not do. I said, this is for you to help you. So you either want it or you don't want it, but I'm not going to force you to take it.
Yeah.
And then when she would run out, she's like, can you call CVS? I was like, no. You have to call CVS. You have to get on my phone, because she couldn't get the app because she was under 18. Yeah. She was under 12, so probably under 10. So she would get on my phone and she would do it. I was like, this is for the rest of your life. This is who you'll be, and you have to learn how to do it. And so when she was able to get the app, she knew what she was doing. But it's just very funny. Like, you really do have to start young and do all of that.
Yeah, I took Carly to the doctor once when she was like freshman in high school. She was 14, and I'm standing there with her, and the doctor's like, okay, well, who's your primary caregiver?
Mom?
And she looked at me, she's like, her.
Exactly.
And the woman left, and she's like, no, you're a doctor. And Carly looked at me, she's like, where do I go? Like, you always take me.
Aww.
And I realized, okay, this is information shit. But then I made the mistake of telling her to always tell the doctor the truth. Don't try to hide anything from the doctor.
How is this a mistake?
Because she was 15.
Oh, jeez. My mom!
And I'm in the office with her, and I wasn't even wearing real pants. Like, I had on yoga pants, and I looked like yucky.
Yeah.
And Dr. Barbie looking lady comes in, and she's like, do you eat a lot of vegetables? And Carly's like, no, I do not. So I have to chime in, well, I provide the vegetables.
Right,
she
right.
just chooses not to eat them. She's like, okay, well, you don't drink or do any drugs. And Carly's like, actually, I smoke a lot of pot.
Mother of the year.
The doctor looks at me, and I'm like, I don't provide that.
Yes. I don't provide all the greens.
And I'm like, and she's like, well, you told me not to lie. I'm like, I just wish I was wearing real pants.
Sometimes you should. Yeah, sometimes you should lie.
Wait, Wendy's daughter's a genius. Did you read that? Her daughter ran a concierge service in her first year of college to do these particular things for kids.
That's
like
so smart.
make appointments, get prescriptions. I am telling my daughter this.
That is
a great
brilliant.
What a brilliant. I hope she's a business major.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
I just informed my almost 16-year-old she has to start making her appointments. And she said, thanks, Dena.
That was a good one, yeah.
Your
pot is not the veggies I provide. No, no.
My daughter's pregnant at 18 and turned 19 2 days before she had my grandson. Every time she went to the doctor for the baby, I had to give permission.
At 18?
At 18?
Wow.
Well, it's Nebraska, so maybe, yeah.
That's
At
crazy.
13, I lose the right to know things about my
Oh,
baby.
it is 19 in Nebraska.
In Washington, it's
Crazy.
13. Wow,
That's cray-cray.
Wow.
At 13, I
Wow.
cannot know their medical stuff without
At
them.
13?
Yeah.
Without them signing something.
Yeah, but
At which point I
she's
sit down
not
and
in
say,
business.
"Here's
She's a
a
fifth
pen.
grade math
Sign."
and science teacher.
Oh, that makes sense.
that's not even.
That's cool, though.
funny.
Good for her.
Smart.
That was very smart.
Yeah.
She does math and science, so I guess she's
She is
smart.
also very smart.
Yeah.
Like me and
She's
Jen.
part of this group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in the gifted and talented program in school?
I was, but have you seen that
Of
trend?
course she
No, no.
was.
I was too.
Because she's
You
the
guys,
Okay. I
have you
can't be on the
seen-
couch with you two. I played the
I'm gonna leave.
glockenspiel.
Get out. Get out.
The glockenspiel.
Jed,
There's
we're
a whole-
being kicked out.
There's a
Jed.
whole trend going on about
Bye.
if you were in the gifted talented program, you were actually in special ed.
That's true. Because we were actually undiagnosed ADHD kids, and now we have anxiety and have become nothing in life.
So they just, we're
I
special.
also have anxiety and have become nothing in
What?
life, and
And
I
I
was
was
never
I was
in the gifted and talented program.
I'm so gifted at anxiety.
I
I'm the
was.
best.
That's what you were in the.
I was in the gifted and talented program until I was in like 7th grade
You were
when my
gifted?
ADHD
No.
kicked in, and they were like, "Get out, dummy."
They talk real
Mine
slow to
kicked in,
me.
but I could still do all the school stuff. I was just a terrible mess and turned out.
Can
like
you
this.
understand? Get a pencil out. And I was like, okay.
I lost control.
They
of
were
it
just
all.
like,
My
Missy,
grades
you're
went-
so nice.
I barely graduated from high school. I got
Even when you're farting,
dropped
you're
a
nice.
class.
Oh, you're so cute. You're
a
so happy.
semester before I graduated,
Yeah.
so that I could graduate. Because if I had failed that class, I would have been like,
I don't think I cared at all. Like my parents didn't care. Did your parents care?
No, my parents were not pushers.
No. I was always surprised when I would meet people
Yeah.
who would have like, all A's and then a B minus, and they'd be crying in the bathroom. And I'm like, what's wrong? They're like, I got a B minus. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
My parents only cared if I didn't do the work. Right? Like
I don't think
if they
so,
would get
yeah.
phone calls that Missy hadn't turned in her homework, then I was in trouble because that was a responsibility. But the results, and I was I had
sound like
decent
Kim, we were
parents.
kidding. Yes,
Yeah.
ADHD kids do become things in life. We were only joking.
No, they-
But that was the meme.
They
that was
do
the thing
become
going around.
things, but they also become us. So
Which is great thing.
we're great.
We just have our
great
claim to
lives.
fame is
You're
Kathy
getting
calls us
everything
smart.
you
That's
can.
it. That's
That's
all
it.
we're known
your
for.
best. It's not
I'm
about
gonna
being
take
great.
It was funny.
But
There
I
was
know
students.
there was a study that they did. I don't know if you heard about it, where they followed a whole bunch of valedictorians. Did you guys hear this?
No.
It was like years. They followed a whole bunch of valedictorians and asked them to do a self-report years later
Uh-huh.
on their lives. And like, did they consider themselves to be leaders in their field? Did they consider themselves... Can you guys, if you're going to talk, you have to go somewhere else. You got to just either be, okay.
Either be in it or
So,
out of it.
yeah. So they said that they follow these valedictorians and they ask the valedictorians, do you feel like you're a leader? Do you feel like you're making great strides? It was like all these questions about leadership. These were all valedictorians from like 20 years of valedictorians. And they said across the board that none of them self-reported like they were leaders, they were presidents of their company.
Wow. So they peaked.
Well, it was partly that, but it was also that, if you talk to really smart people, they'll say, they said, if I do X, Y, and Z, then I get to go to this college. If I do X, Y, and Z, I get to go to this doctoral program. This one, like, there's very much a formula for all of that, but it's really like the creative people, the people who can think outside the box, that really kind of make bigger changes in the world. And so it was just really interesting, like people who are really smart and can take something creative and put it together. It was just super interesting. My daughter was valedictorian. She never feels like she's a leader, but she is, and she doesn't see it in herself. But it is just kind of funny. Well, I know a lot of schools, like remember when we were younger, they would tell you if you were in the top 20%, which I never was. And then you just got percentiles. They were like, girl, you're so dumb. You just sent a percentile. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You were in the 5th percentile.
Yeah, we had that. But you were in Jersey.
But they had that at my daughter's school.
Yeah. Well, they don't even rank them anymore.
No.
They
don't
won't.
want them to know.
No, they have to guess where they rank.
They do rank them. They just don't.
Right.
That, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just very interesting. And I'm just like, I just feel like for a lot, and the more I've learned with Brooke, I'm like, listen, she's not going to get the A in science, but she can play the crap out of this violin and she understands music and she's really empathetic. Like trying to encourage your kids to understand that there are so many other types of intelligence. And you're just like, just because you can't do this math problem doesn't mean life is over. Like you just,
Dena, when Carly had a very hard time in school, and for the most part she didn't care, but the summer between senior year and then whatever comes next, everybody that saw her was like, what college are you going to? What college are you going to? And for the first time I could see, and I told her, I'm like, honey, that's just an automatic question people ask.
They don't know what else to say.
They don't know what else to say. Please don't take it as an even real question. They're just acknowledging, oh, this is where you are.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take that pain away from her.
Yeah.
And that self-consciousness. And she's doing amazing
She's doing
things.
great.
Yeah.
It said, shout out from Eric in the Philippines.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Southern Wisconsin. It's raining.
What season is it in the Philippines? That
I don't know. Eric, what's it like? What's the temperature like in the Philippines?
I think it's winter, isn't it? Because they're in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah,
right now.
Timo says book
Right,
smart is different than life smart. That's what I like to tell myself.
Oh, I knew a guy in high school that had all A's. He was like so book smart, but he could not cross the street by himself.
I know. I was fourth in my class 40 years ago. Now I get dumber by the day. Fourth. That's so crazy. I think that's amazing when people are that smart. Yeah.
I admire that work ethic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes people do it and they don't even have to work for it. That happens a lot. And then they go to college and then they got to work for it and they fail.
I remember one of my kids took like the PSAT or something. And I remember them saying like, the school just didn't do a good job of preparing us for this math section because there were just like some math in there I'd never even seen before. It was so weird. So I'm telling my girlfriend, Trish, she's like a math person. And I said, it's just weird because they have this math. Like, how are they supposed to gauge like how smart a kid is if they've never been exposed to it? Like, it seems like there should be like a standard, like everyone had a chance to learn this. And she goes, well, that's how they figure out who the gifted kids are. I go, what do you mean? She goes, there are kids who have never seen that math and they can figure it out. They understand it. They just know from how the problem looks, they can solve it. Wow. I was like, what are you talking about? No, that's nobody. She goes, Dena, you can sit a kid down and show them a math problem and they will just understand how to do it without ever seeing the math or being exposed to it or learning it. It's just so crazy.
That's cuckoo.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I was like, those kids are weird. But I don't know. But I look at Brooke, like I know how to play the piano, but I look at Brooke's violin music. I'm like, I have no idea how she's playing it. Because for the longest time, she couldn't read music. She just couldn't get it. So she had to learn by ear, the Suzuki method. And then she had to learn how to read music, and now the music that she plays is just well beyond. But
that's like a gift.
That tells me she has a gift.
To play by
she learns.
Yeah. My grandfather could do that. Guitar by ear.
My husband started playing the piano at like 3, and he just like
knew it.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Somebody just said Anne Marie said I could do algebra without ever being taught it.
That's amazing,
right?
Are you an accountant now?
That's crazy. My son is an engineer and one math problem was pages long. Yeah,
oh God.
My husband's a math teacher and that is like his sweet spot. He just nerd out. You give him a hard math problem. He's like, I'll see you later.
My daughter 13 is being tested for dyscalculia as we speak. Have you ever heard of it? She can't do math, but she can sing like an angel.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's dysgraphia. I guess there's dyscalculia.
What's dysgraphia?
Dysgraphia is how you write words. Okay. You write them all out of order, I think. you understand it in your brain, but when you
Well, it's a
put it to
coding issue.
paper,
Like dyslexia doesn't mean you see the letters mixed up. It means you can't code the language when you're reading it physically.
Yeah, it's very interesting how your brain processes. And we were talking about like executive functioning and like, so Brooke has this thing. She has like deficits across a couple things, so we had to kind of figure out what they were. But one of them that I thought was so interesting, she had a hearing test, and they came back and they were like, so we did find some issues. I was like, she can't hear? And they're like, no, her hearing's fine. And I was like, so she's fine? She's like, well, no, she can't hear certain sounds. And I said, so she has a hearing problem? No, her hearing is fine.
She can't hear her mother's command.
Yeah, she can't hear. Do the laundry, do the dishes, clean your room.
Other than that, it's a neurotransmitter wiring
And
thing,
she said, she goes, well, for instance, if you said, take this out to the car, she goes, she doesn't hear that. She hears, take this out to the cat. That's what she heard. Yeah. And I go, what? And then she goes, do you find her looking at you a lot? And I would, ever since she was younger, if I said, take this out to the car, and I pointed, she would take a second and she'd follow my arm to see where I was pointing. And then she'd look, and then she'd be like, she'd take like 10 seconds. And then she'd be like, okay. And I said, well, what sounds is it? So I can tell her teachers, like, she can't hear an R. She goes, it'll change all the time.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, what does that even mean? And
auditory processing.
It's an auditory processing issue. And she said, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can't fix it. She said, but she uses contextual clues. She looks at what you're pointing at. She looks at what everybody's doing. She looks at what's in your hand. And so I had to sit down with her and say to her, I was like, I want you to know that you are solving a problem every single time somebody talks to you. That instead of saying, here, take this out to the car, which is a very simple task, you have to then look around, pick up clues. I said, you're actually working 10 times harder than everybody else. I said, in many ways, it means you're a lot smarter because I don't have to solve a problem every time somebody says to do something. And so it was just very interesting to really like learn about these deficits, because it would never be picked up on a hearing test. It was like really deep. Whoa. And there were a couple of them that she couldn't do. But I do think that because of the way that her brain, and it's been like that since she was a kid, she just, she processes things super quick, other things that we probably never tap into because she's just, and she's super aware of her surroundings. She's very empathetic. She picks up a lot of stuff.
She has to be.
So it was a very interesting conversation.
That's fascinating.
But we had so many things. She had a pen that she would write with. When she wrote things with the pen, it was also recording what the teacher said, so that if she took the pen later and touched what she wrote, it would play the recording of what the teacher was saying while she wrote it. Then we had another one that she wore around. She had a headset and the teacher had another thing here. Like, we had so many things that they tried to throw at her to try to help her to just be really focused on what she was hearing. There was something called figure ground that she had. So like how you were talking and then they were talking, like she hears it all at the same level. So she can't just say, I'm going to focus. And that's why I had to say, you had to stop talking right there. If we're in the same conversation, it's fine. But this computer can't do that. So they're all hearing what you're saying plus us at the same time.
At the same level.
So Brooke couldn't do that. So if there were kids in her class talking and the teacher was talking, they had to put the teacher right in her ear and block everybody out so that she could hear the teacher louder. It was very interesting. And I always say, like, we had her eyes checked, we had her hearing checked. When it comes to executive functioning, auditory processing, all of that, if you get the right providers that are like, this is what we're seeing, and a lot about what she did with her eyes, like even you were talking about the attention deficit that is not the hyperactivity. And the doctor said to me, she goes, when your daughter when you're talking to your daughter, is she going like this? And she's just everywhere like a hyper? Or is she looking right at you, but there's just nothing there?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that. She stares right at me. She was like, yeah, that's a different kind. And it's mostly girls.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a really long time for them to be diagnosed.
Yeah.
What's
It's not
heartbreaking?
presenting.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What's heartbreaking about that is there are a lot of
So many
girls or kids in general that get labeled as a behavior problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you're making eye contact, it appears to be defiance of some
and
sort.
she's probably like,
and she's like, I'm not hearing.
Yeah.
But and of course they don't know how to identify.
Yeah.
They just know they're in trouble.
Yeah.
right.
And that's
So one of my
heart.
kids has, we found out like her eyes are not working together. It's not a vision problem.
It's eye teaming.
Oh, I don't hear that. But okay.
It's called eye teaming.
So, but one of the coolest things that helped them diagnose this is, those 3D glasses where it's like red, blue, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if we put them on and look at something, a white wall, we'll see purple, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she puts them on and we'd be like, what color's the wall? Blue. No, it's red. No, it's blue. What's this over here? Blue. She never saw purple.
Because her eyes didn't.
They never converge.
So Brooke went to this thing. It was eye teaming, and there's a doctor in Cherry Hill who kind of specializes in it. If she took a vocab test, if I asked her spell all the words, she could spell them. But if she had the next day, she would go to the class, she'd fail the test, and not a little bit, the whole thing. She'd fail it. And I'd be like, how did you fail this? So we go in and the guy was like, it's a problem with eye teaming. They're not working together.
Mm-hmm.
And when they don't do that, she gets confused.
Yeah.
And so she had to go and do like almost like a workout for her eyes to start teaching her eyes to start working in conjunction with each other and to cross appropriately.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of those things, like a straw. Apparently, if you just use it like a silly straw, it makes your eyes go one way, and then if you blow out, it makes your eyes go the other way.
Yeah,
so
it was very interesting. Yeah, it was a lot. But the crazy thing, and I always bring this up because I think it happens a lot, is that Brooke has anxiety but had learning issues. But for the longest time, they kept treating her like she just had this anxiety issue. But the anxiety was because she was sitting in a room, had no idea what anybody was saying, no idea.
Totally.
And so we were like, if we start to address the actual issue with learning, then she has a fighting chance. But if you stuck me in a room and everybody was speaking another language, I would be like, yeah, I don't know what the heck is happening. And so it was very interesting. Like, do you approach the anxiety first? Do you approach the learning disability first? And so it was just a very interesting time, just kind of unpacking all of that with her. And which one was the leader?
And it's so hard because it's funny because like people who have any of these issues always usually have like self-esteem issues, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like my son has slight dyslexia and ADHD, but I would always say to him, listen, the thing that you think makes you less than is the thing that gives you a superpower. Like when he was little, he had really great spatial awareness. So he would build these elaborate train sets, or I would take him to like a Lego thing at the library and he'd be in there with like the fourth graders and he was 4, like solving the Lego problem. Like, so while he had trouble with certain things, there were other things he was like, yeah, I got this. Like, because his brain works differently. And there's nothing wrong with your brain working differently. It's just how do you monopolize on that difference?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is that when Brooke was, she was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and she wasn't good at anything. Aww. She couldn't pass a test. She couldn't, relationships were difficult for her because she just kept blurting stuff out. And I was like, she has to have something she's good at. Like, my job is to figure out, I believe that every kid has something so we did gymnastics, we did swimming, we did art, we did ceramics. I was just like, this kid's going to be good at something. And we started piano. I'm a piano player. I was like, I'm going to teach her this. But even as I was teaching it, I was like, something's not right. Like these things I'm trying to teach her, I was breaking down so simple and she couldn't get. But I was like, she could sing really well. She almost has perfect pitch. And I was like, I'm going to get her to learn Suzuki, which is completely by ear. And she was playing so fast. We found her little violin. It's like this big. It's so tiny when they're that small. Yes. And she was trying to play it. But then we got her so she started, playing whatever. So we got her like a real size violin. Well, now she started going to college for music 2 years ago, and she was playing these big pieces. And she's like, I'm really having a hard time playing. And I was like, why? She goes, I don't know. This is like my student violin from 4th grade. So, and I was like, what? And I realized we never bought
You
her.
never sized up.
We never. Well, no, it's a full size, but it was like it was like $100 at
like a real one. Yeah.
And we never bought her a real one.
She had a Hyundai violin.
She had a Hyundai violin.
She needed a BMW.
So I called Jim and I was like, listen, we have to talk because she's a music major and and I feel like, and it was the same with my parents, like they were able to, my aunt had a piano, so we had that in our house. But like when your child gets to the point where they're playing these magnificent things, you're like, okay, maybe
on
now.
a kazoo.
Maybe, you're like, maybe we should put some money into this.
Yeah.
So we
Gotta
did.
put a little wash up in.
Yeah, we did. We were sat down, and a friend of ours from years ago is a violin maker. So he let us come in. He let her try him out.
Cool.
And it was interesting. I took some video of her trying out these different violins because it was so interesting. Like she'd be playing these beautiful things. And like some of them, it was like trying on like your prom gown or your wedding gown. Like when it fit, you were like, this is the one. It was just like, you could just see her. She was like, this one. And same thing with the bow was like another thing. She was trying different bows. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So it was really fun. So if you have a kid out there that's a little different, you're not alone. There's lots of us trying to all figure it out. But I would say my big thing is if your kid struggles with everything, which Brooke was definitely dealing with, I was like, I will find the thing that God gave you. If it kills me, it's going to be a journey. But it was just so funny. And I was like, please don't be gymnastics. It's so expensive. Yeah. There were a couple things. Yeah, I was like, please don't do this.
Yeah. Put her on a horse.
Yeah, I was like, please don't be equestrian. That's a lot for mommy. But I bet it was beautiful. So
it would be great if like her thing was something like electricity or plumbing.
Or baking,
or
specifically,
massage.
or massage.
Mom, I need to practice massaging.
Well, when she was younger, she would say all the time, it helps me relax to massage someone. And so she'd massage my arm. So sometimes if I was really tired, I'd come home and I'd be like, you have a big test tomorrow, don't you? Stressed a little stressed out.
Away, baby.
Would I try to trigger her so she would massage me?
I think that's fair.
I was about to tell you what a great mom you were.
No, I'm a horrible mother. I'm a horrible mother. All right, everybody. Well, listen, that is it for us today. Tune in tonight. We have Tipsy Tuesday. So we'll be having a good night tonight. And like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others today. And thanks for joining us and all of our kooky friends here. But thanks for watching. Have a great day and a blessed day. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.